use this boat to reach the Seine. As soon as I am on dry land, I shall return to the Cordelier convent. I am sure they are waiting for me with bated breath. Citoyen, I come bearing sad tidings. Monsieur de Vaucanson has passed away. I was present for his last breath in his cell at the Bastille.
Juste ciel. Requiescat in pace.
Mon Dieu, it is a cruel fate that has taken my dearest friend from me today.
Eugène. Ce pauvre Eugène. I cannot suffer such a horrible injustice.
Was he at least able to tell you something before he passed away?
No, nothing.
How unfortunate. We are lost.
Must we resign ourselves to this disastrous turn of events?
No, General. Every part of me refuses to do so. Eugène de Vaucanson made me make a promise that I swore to keep. Now I have no other choice than to risk everything.
What are you thinking, Aegis?
I'm thinking of making my way to Versailles.
Eh bien, you should know that I also plan to go there.
You don't even think about it.
Ma foi. What have we got to lose? Our lives? At this point, you must admit that they're not worth much.
I agree with the Marquis's resolution. We must take into account everything that Aegis has done to foil the King's plans. The time has come for us to put ourselves at her service.
Not so fast, mon ami. Let's not rush into anything. You'd have to be mad to want to be part of the battle to come. Those who agree to take part in this strike will need to keep a low profile until Aegis has cleared the way. As for you, madame, I do not know what new arrangements have been made since my last visit to the Queen, but I found the area around the North Wing to be particularly empty. Here is where you should launch the attack. If fortune is in my favor, I shall be waiting for you at the Petit Trianon with something to help you make your way through the gardens.
As for us, once the automates have been defeated, we will enter the palace to seize the king and the count.
Is that your plan, Monsieur le Marquis?
It is, monsieur.
We are about to take the small step that separates audacity from madness.
Are you ready to take it, Madame?
Citoyen, I cannot escape my obligations. It is in my very nature to honor them. I kept the promise I made to the Queen to find Monsieur de Vaucanson. I am now bound by the oath I swore before my creator. If I go to Versailles, it is in the hope of rescuing Athenais. I think also of all that remains to be done in Paris. And what's more, you demand my help to make you masters of the king.
It is a heavy burden that we place on your shoulders. But once again, we must leave it up to you.
Take your time, Aegis. A hasty decision could lead to disaster.
We will be ready for action when the time comes.
Pour la nation!
Et pour le royaume!
Citoyen Bailly.
Ah, mademoiselle. Well, what news?
Goodbye, Citoyen Bailly. Citoyen Lavoisier. Goodbye, and down. Citoyen Robespierre.
Madame.
Goodbye, Citoyen, and death. Citoyen Mirabeau. I found a broken cane. Do you know who it belongs to?
Well, yes.
I know the owner, and I'm willing to bet you're looking for a certain Francois Antoine.
That's right.
Well, you'd need to look a little further east, mademoiselle. Across the Rhine for a start. Because this cane belongs, or belonged, to a certain Franz Anton Mesmer.
Mesmer, the prince of charlatans.
Good heavens, it's been a long time since I've heard his name.
5 years to be exact since your learned commission denounced his theories.
It wasn't long after that when he disappeared.
Mesmer. Eugène de Vaucanson said that name before he died. Can you tell me more about him?
He was a mystical healer who was once popular with the upper class. I myself attended several of his sessions.
You mentioned a commission.
The king did not look kindly on the healer's popularity within the court. This led him to appoint a commission from the Royal Academy of Sciences.
An institution to which Monsieur Bailly and I have the honor to belong. We were asked to investigate his alleged powers.
The experiments that we performed allowed us to determine that Monsieur Mesmer's activities were pure charlatanism, a conclusion that destroyed his successful career the moment it was published.
But there was something, Sylvain. A tiny flow of energy that my devices were able to measure.
My dear colleague, must I remind you again that we were never able to reproduce your observations? It was obviously a momentary failure of your equipment.
Perhaps. I'd like to be sure of it.
When and how did Monsieur Mesmer disappear?
The denunciation of his techniques was the start of a long descent into hell for Monsieur Mesmer. He was abandoned by his clients and resumed his research in virtual secrecy. I think he was hoping to perfect his so-called science and restore his reputation with the Academy.
A hope that led him to associate himself with that dastardly Cagliostro. God only knows what experiments they may have carried out. In any case, their collaboration did not last long. Monsieur Mesmer left the kingdom overnight to return to his mother country.
Why did he leave so quickly?
That is a mystery. But those who saw him that morning say it was as if he had the devil at his heels.
This is true. He left in such a hurry that he abandoned everything he owned. Furniture, belongings, and scientific equipment. And it seems that Cagliostro has inherited this treasure.
Is that so? Well, if what you say is true, that broken cane must have passed into the Count's hands.
Yes, it's likely.
This adventurer from who knows where is quite the mysterious character. And he has been very busy recently. I've been able to observe him from my apartments, making frequent visits to Rue Saint-Honoré, on the Tuileries side. I wonder what he was doing there.
What were Monsieur Mesmer's theories?
He is a proponent of a theory called animal magnetism. He claimed to be able to channel a purported universal healing fluid by passing his hands over patients and using magnets.
He also cobbled together a whole array of mad devices, each stranger than the last. Unfortunately, despite all his attempts, I don't know that he ever cured anyone.
What happened during Monsieur Mesmer's treatment sessions?
Oh, they were quite a spectacle to behold. Imagine well-born ladies afflicted with perfectly imaginary illnesses. A dimly lit room where incense has been burned to intoxicate the soul and cloud your vision. Amiable servants, half-dressed, gliding from countess to duchess to the sound of a sensual melody. And the great Mesmer, a doctor with wandering hands, presiding over the wonderful scene. Oh, you should have seen them. Those grand ladies moaning, crying, and falling into a swoon, clinging to that strange tub. Du théâtre, ma chère. Pure theater.
Citoyen Mirabeau. What does this letter mean?
Who gave you the right to read my correspondence?
I'm curious about how you got rid of Italia. As if it burned your fingers.
To tell you the truth, you're not entirely wrong. It is a missive sent by my father, the Marquis de Mirabeau, the scoundrel who shamelessly dares to call himself the friend of man. He writes to say that he is on the brink of death, in such a desperate state that he has received extreme unction. This reprobate used his final moments on this mortal plane to send me threats yet again. He swears that he will torment me from beyond the grave.
How is that possible?
To my knowledge, he has not yet deigned to shuffle off this mortal coil. In any case, the satisfaction of knowing he is dead would not assuage my concern. This man is more persistent than the plague. He's capable of anything. He has spent his entire life persecuting his family. And I believe he is ready to spend his eternal rest continuing to do the same. I need to know what he's planning.
Where is he now?
At his home in Argenteuil. Given the circumstances, going to ask him for an explanation is out of the question. But the man who heard his final confession is here.
Monseigneur de la Fare.
Precisely. Only this confounded shaveling refuses to tell me a word of what the old dragon confided to him. He stubbornly insists on the secrecy of confession. Bon sang. Will we ever be rid of these damned superstitions? Aegis, would you be so kind as to intercede with the bishop? Perhaps you will be able to make him change his mind.
Did you go to the Hotel de Massiac?
No.
Remember.
Goodbye, citoyen, and may live.
How is your research on Nicholas Flamel going?
I have done nothing.
Don't take too long. Don't forget that the tomb is the church isn't far.
You still have no news from Citoyen Brissot?
Indeed, we wait in vain, and our hopes are beginning to fade.
He knew we were to meet here at the first blood spilt by the king.
Mes amis, we must fear the worst.
Can you think of any place he might have sought refuge?
No, not at all.
May I venture a speculation?
By all means, Monsieur le Comte.
These past few weeks, Brissot has been invariably accompanied by a young fanatic he met in Versailles.
Ah, yes. The Amazon. What was her name?
Mademoiselle Théroigne de Méricourt. She goes on about this grand patriotic project of hers to anyone that will listen. She wishes to raise a battalion of female combatants, ready to lay down their lives for the nation. A curious passion, isn't it?
Who knows, monsieur? Only time will tell.
In any case, our proud Athena seems to have won the trust of a number of Third Estate deputies, including Monsieur Brissot. Perhaps she will have some information about him she'll be willing to share with us.
But you'd have to know where to find your Amazon.
It just so happens that Mademoiselle Théroigne de Méricourt holds court just a stone's throw from here. 8 Rue de Tournon. No doubt Aegis will be able to make her way there without any trouble. We need only hope that our Amazon has taken shelter there to escape the royal terror.
How is your research on... Don't for the church isn't...
Goodbye, and may live. Monseigneur.
What can I do for you, Aegis?
Monseigneur, I would like to talk to you about your recent meeting with the Marquis de Mirabeau.
What has gotten into all of you? This has gone on long enough. I will say it one last time and pray that they will finally leave me alone. Nothing and no one will make me violate the secrecy of his confession. Have I made myself clear?
Perfectly clear, Monseigneur. General Lafayette.
Do you need help, Aegis?
General, there is an alarming rumor about you going around.
Huh. Just one, is there?
You are accused of having delivered the troops who had gathered in the Place Dauphine over to the king.
Calumny. This is nothing less than vile slander. I am the staunchest opponent of the bloodthirsty tyrant who claims to rule us. What's more, I did not call for the uprising. The National Guard came together on their own. This was the work of soldiers who rebelled and called on the people to rise up and defend Paris. It was only after they had gathered that the troops asked me to lead them. Alas, I was too late. But tell me, where did you hear this rumor?
From Marat.
Marat. It's always Marat. Nothing can stop that swinish mudslinger from slandering the most upstanding subjects in the kingdom. Ah, if I'd gotten hold of him, I would have ensured he lose his taste for gossip, believe you me. Me, throwing the people to the wolves. What a foul accusation. I see the Duc d'Orléans' hand in this. A prince without a kingdom, but a master in the art of treachery. From exile, the wretch will stop at nothing to bring down the dynasty. He would go so far as to do away with the queen and her children, but I don't intend to let it happen. The day is fast approaching when I will make him pay.
I went to the meeting point you indicated. I had an unexpected encounter there.
Get to the facts. Who did you meet there?
Madame de Polignac, the Queen's favorite. She made no secret of her reason for being in that desolate place. So now I know all about the precious cargo.
Seigneur, what happened?
That remains the evidence. That's still 3 of them lost.
Excellent. But why the...
Only that.
Would you be...
Goodbye, General Lafayette. And down with the Clockwork King.
Well put.
Citoyen Necker.
Pardon me, madame.
Goodbye. Citoyen Mirabeau. Alas, the bishop stubbornly refused to reveal anything.
Damn it. I need to know what my rogue of a father is up to. Let me think. In light of the cartload of threats he sent me, it's safe to wager that my sister and mother received similar letters. They may even have already suffered his revenge. However, my sister lives in Grasse in the south of France. Unless a messenger rode 100 horses to death, she could not have received this letter. Then there is my poor mother.
If you ask me, I will go to find her.
Yes, it's very kind of you to offer. But I couldn't even tell you where she is staying.
Your own mother?
Indeed. It's a very embarrassing matter. A secret, which I beg you not to divulge.
I can be discreet. Rest assured.
Very well. You should know that my mother, the Countess of Covey, has lost everything. Truly. First her fortune, then her faculties. No matter what I tried, nothing could prevent her decline. It is said that she is now living on charity, in the most abject poverty in the slums of the Marais. If perchance your past takes you to this dreadful place, and if she still remembers who she is, perhaps you may meet her.
She's gone off alone to rescue Citoyen Brissot. It's a fool's errand. I must help her at all costs.
God, by God. We're not gonna just leave her there. She'll be eaten by rats.
What would you have us do? Are you willing to risk your life just to go bury her?
Absolutely not. But still, what a sorry sight.
The day has passed and I can still hear her cries. It was blood-curdling.
Who could be so cowardly as to attack a half-crazed woman?
Oh, I'd wager that it was the stranger I saw hanging around here for 2 days.
Oh yeah, I remember. A sort of strong man with a pock-marked face, wasn't he? A frightening face, really.
He was asking about the Countess. And he was insistent, the brute. But I knew how to hold my tongue. You know me.
But the cutthroat must have succeeded in the end. God knows how he tricked the Countess into letting him in.
That's true. Our Countess was a highly suspicious woman. But why did he want to harm her?
No doubt it was because of those old rumours. As crazy and poor as she was, it seems that she kept a small treasure hidden under her bed. All that remained of her aristocratic life, it seems.
The Comtesse de Corvée. The poor thing. This is not the work of an automat, but of a common thug, no doubt. Now I must bring the terrible news to Monsieur de Mirabeau. Citoyen Mirabeau. Unfortunately, I come bearing sad news.
Go on, Aegis. There is no need to spare me. This is about my mother, isn't it?
Indeed. The Countess is no longer of this world.
Yes, yes. It was to be feared. I knew she was lost a long time ago. The poor woman. At last she has been delivered from the madness that drove her into the gutter.
It gets worse.
Worse, you say?
Your mother did not die of poverty. She was killed.
Murdered? No. No, my father. The rabid dog made good on his threat. May he roast in the fires of hell for all eternity. As for you, Bishop, do you finally understand the man's true nature? How much longer will you protect this demon?
I share your grief, Monsieur de Mirabeau, but the secrets of...
Enough! You sanctimonious bigot! Is it not enough for you to serve the people absurd fables that condemn them to ignorance? Must you also submit to the whims of a malicious old brute? The scourge of his own family? Speak! Speak now, or so help me, I will send you to meet your maker.
Please, monsieur, let us not get carried away. Out of respect for your grief, and given the extraordinary circumstances, I consent to enlighten you.
I am listening, Monseigneur.
I admit that your father is an unusual person, inhabited by an anger whose source is undetermined. He blamed you, your sister, and your poor mother for all of his misfortunes. I stayed by his bedside an entire night. I preached about mercy and the example of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Ha! That must have gone over well.
Do not mock me, Monsieur de Mirabeau. At dawn, I finally got Monsieur le Marquis to see the error of his ways. Before God, he extended forgiveness to all those he had previously condemned.
However, he did not give up his plans for revenge. The fate reserved for my mother is proof of this.
In fact, monsieur, he did. He even gave me a leather wallet containing, in his words, the instrument of your punishment. He asked me to dispose of it. Unfortunately, your mother's fate was already sealed. Orders had been given. There was nothing more that could be done. The poor soul. He was in tears, his body racked with sobs.
My heart breaks to hear it. What was in the wallet?
I don't know, monsieur. I did not open it.
In that case, I ask you to give it to me now.
I cannot, monsieur. When I was captured, the wallet fell into the hands of the Comte de Cagliostro.
Nom de nom, Aegis. Do you realize what this means? This wallet contains my father's sentences for his children. Me, of course, but also my sister, the Marquise de Cabri. You must find it at all costs. Our fate is in your hands. Cagliostro must have put it in a safe place, somewhere known only to him. You know, as it happens, I've been spotting him recently from my apartments. He's been constantly coming and going around Rue Saint-Honoré, in the Quartier de Saint-Eustache. You should have a nose around and see what pops up.
field with the dead tree, I might be able to stop this experiment and get my hands on Cagliostro.